Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Danny Plays here, back on a video, and today's video, we are here with the Spider-Man reviews, and yeah, of course, we started the series a year later with Spider-Man 2002. So today we're going to be doing Spider-Man 2 2004, the second, what's called, the sequel to Spider-Man 1, which we covered the other day. Of course, it has the same director and all, Sam Raimi. And, yeah, so some people actually call this the greatest superhero movie of all time, and I might agree with them, because this is, well, maybe not the greatest, but one of the greatest superhero movies in general, best superhero movies in general. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing what I hate and what I like about it. Not gonna lie, I actually had nothing really bad to say about the first movie, and we'll have probably anything to say bad about this movie. Probably Spider-Man 3 next time, though I'll have something bad to say about them. I mean, probably a lot of bad stuff about Spider-Man 3, because it's the worst. It's the worst movie in the franchise. So yeah. So yeah, guys, Spider-Man 2 2004. That's when it was released. So I guess what we can just go is I'll just start where I want to start. I guess, which is I guess I'll just start with MJ again. Yeah, MJ. Like I said last time, lads, MJ is so boring to me. She just gets kidnapped every time. Like at least with Gwen Stacy, you know, like she actually. I'll probably talk about her more when I'm reviewing the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but MJ in this franchise always just got kidnapped, and she was always in danger and all, and it's so annoying sometimes. It gets a little boring, but it always does lead to a great finale of the movie. So yeah, I guess I shouldn't complain that much. But yeah, MJ again is boring in this card. But of what I do like about MJ though is her interactions with Peter, and I actually love Peter and kind of MJ. They're really cute together. Of course they are in the comics, because in the comics they're one of the most iconic couple in comic book history. And yeah, so I do like the chemistry between MJ and Peter. So yeah, I do like that. So especially when Peter is after his birthday party, MJ talks to him for a bit, and then she reveals to him that she's dating someone now, because Peter rejected him in the last movie, or her in the last movie. Sorry, I said him. But yeah, so yeah, this movie introduces John Jameson, which is J. Jonah Jameson's son, who also becomes Man-Wolf in the comics, and yeah, John Jameson becomes Man-Wolf in the comics. And yeah, so what I think is a kind of, I don't want to say a dick move, is MJ just leaving John Jameson. Like, they were about to get married, and then because she found out Peter Parker was Spider-Man at the end. MJ did, because MJ found out Peter Parker was Spider-Man at the end of Spider-Man 2. She started to, she kind of, I guess you could say, dumped John Jameson, but she didn't really dump him, because she didn't even give him any warning before the wedding. They just did, she just left him without any warning. That's so bad. He was a nice man as well. He was at the wedding in a suit. It probably took a lot of money for him to, buy all the wedding stuff and all like that. And then she just leaves him. She didn't even give him any warning. That's so mean. And she probably MJ's just I like to call this MJ a spider digger. If you don't, it's just a word I made up, because if you guys know what gold digger means, it means a girl that wants you for your money, or a boy that wants you for your money, probably. And yeah, that's what MJ is. She's only using Peter for her powers, because she gets kidnapped every time. So she needs Peter in her life to protect her all the time. So because she gets okay, I guess I'll get off the MJ character for now. So of course, Toby Maguire as Peter Parker is absolutely fabulous in this movie again. And of course, a lot more iconic memes in this movie. The best meme is actually in this movie ever. The best meme in this movie the best meme ever is in this movie, which is pizza time. If you guys remember that scene, some people might not call that the best meme ever, but I love that meme so much when Peter just comes in pizza time. And another thing I love about this movie though is Peter is oh my god, Peter's getting his Peter's kind of getting his ass kicked throughout all this movie. And I'm not talking about he's getting his ass kicked physically. I'm talking about he's getting his ass kicked mentally, because literally at the start of the movie we see Peter struggling to do his new job, which he delivers pizzas, which he gets fired from because he couldn't deliver the pizzas in time. so he gets fired, and then he almost gets fired at the Daily Bugle. And yeah, he just Peter, and also like Peter starts I should say Spider-Man. Spider-Man starts to lose his powers in this because I actually feel bad for Peter in this movie because Peter Parker is losing his powers because he's actually depressed. That's the reason he's losing his powers, and he just doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore. That's the reason he's losing his powers. And yeah, but like the thing that he just gets his ass kicked in this movie. It's so good, but so sad at the same time. Like he's sad also that MJ is marrying John Jameson, and that's another thing that bites him in the ass. And I'm sorry, I'm cursing a lot in this movie. I mean, in this video, but like. What else was there? There was also, he's still struggling over Uncle Ben's death, obviously. He almost lost Aunt May in this movie. Aunt May almost died on him, but of course he's Spider-Man, so he saved her. And yeah, he just struggles a lot in this movie. And he also loses his best friend at the end of the movie as well, because Harry Osborn finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And Harry Osborn at the time thought that Peter killed his father, but he actually didn't. Green Goblin died by his own glider, of course. But yeah, so he loses his best friend, and he also, another thing that's really sad. This is probably the best bit, one of the best like struggles a superhero has to deal with is freaking Peter has to deal with Aunt May struggling to pay bills and all. Like she's kind of struggling like financially and all. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not an adult yet, so I don't know how it feels to struggle like that yet, so yeah. But what's called, yeah, Aunt May is struggling in this movie because she has to pay loads of bills and all stuff like that. And Peter, because the only reason Peter Parker is trying to get a job is because he has to try to get money for Aunt May, which I really love because Peter Parker does care about Aunt May a lot in the comics. And yeah, I really like that chemistry between Aunt May and Peter Parker. Well, of course, they're aunt and nephew, so. But yeah, so another thing, this is probably the best bit of the whole freaking movie, but I don't know why I didn't mention it straight away, but Alfred Molina as freaking Dr. Octopus is freaking amazing. He is the best Dr. Octopus ever, and Dr. Octopus is one of the best freaking villains in all of Spider-Man history, superhero history, I should just say. I say he's top 2 for me. Top 2 of my favorite villains. Green Goblin's my favorite, and Dr. Octopus probably. And yeah, Dr. Octopus is so good in this movie. Like, they absolutely do him so well. They do him so well. Like it's so sad because he doesn't actually really start off as a villain. He just all that Dr. Octopus is trying to do is he's trying to do I guess you could say a science experiment, and he wants to show people. But then his girlfriend, I forgot if his girlfriend was his wife or his girlfriend. I think it was his girlfriend. But yeah, or maybe his wife actually. Yeah, it was his wife. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, his wife Rosie dies in this movie because of what he did. Basically, it was an accident, but his science project, I guess you could say, experiment. Sorry, kind of like went crazy, and it damaged a lot of New York, and it killed, of course, his wife Rosie, which throughout all the movie he feels guilty for. He blames himself for Rosie's death, but for some reason he also blames Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man tried to unplug his machine, so maybe he thinks that's why it's Spider-Man's fault, because Dr. Octopus is like distracted by Spider-Man, so that's why maybe Dr. Octopus like thinks it's Spider-Man's fault that Rosie died. But yeah, it's like, so I don't know. Dr. Octopus has done so well. He has great memes as well. Where the bit he says to Peter, he says to Peter in one of the scenes where he says, Parker, I know you. You're a Connor student. He tells me you're brilliant. He also tells me you're lazy. That's like one of the best memes ever. And yeah. So yeah, Dr. Octopus does have a heart deep down, but he just tries to get money to rebuild the machine. And yeah, and then that leads to the first freaking fight of the movie, I guess you could say. Well, Peter, of course, does kind of fight a few tugs throughout the movie as well. Which, another thing I forgot to mention as well is Peter Parker can't make it to MJ's play that she's doing, and that's kind of sad as well. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. Yeah, the first fight scene of the movie is Spider-Man versus Dr. Octopus in the bank. because Doctor Octopus tries to rob the bank, and they fight. And another one of my favorite Spider-Man clips of all time comes up as well here when Doctor Octopus throws a money bag at Peter. What's called Peter throws it back at him and hits him, of course. But before he does that, he says, "Here's your change." And it's like it's a really good like quip from Spidey, because Spidey quips a lot in the comics. So yeah, I do love that fight scene. Also, when they get out of the bank, Doctor Octopus kidnaps and I was about to say Mary Jane. That probably won't happen if MJ was there, but Doctor Octopus kidnaps Aunt May. And I actually was like, the first time I saw this, of course I didn't grow up with this movie because I'm only young still, so I wasn't born when the movie actually came out. But the first time I watched this scene where Doctor Octopus kidnapped Aunt May, my heart was racing because I really didn't want Aunt May to die. I know she didn't die in the comics, but I feel like they were kind of hinting her death for some reason at the time. But yeah, I'm really glad they didn't kill off Aunt May. I know she doesn't die in the comics, lads, but well, there is a comic where Aunt May dies instead of Uncle Ben, but yeah. But anyway, what's called? So yeah. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so Spider-Man saves Aunt May. Nearly said MJ again. Aunt May, and yeah, they have a little bit funny banter with them, just saying like yeah, funny banter. And I also like just the way that freaking Spider-Man and Doctor Octopus were punching each other, like, was so I nearly said the F word, but was so freaking like so good, like. I love that Peter was struggling to fight him as well because he was mostly worried about Aunt May in the fight, but it's such a good fight scene, like, and of course, the director Sam Raimi, he knows how to do a freaking fight scene, guys. He knows, and he has really good effects as well. But even though sometimes in the first movie his effects kind of look like PS2 freaking graphics, but so it's okay. It's still really good graphics anyway, or should I not say graphics? You know what I mean, right? But yeah, I love that fight scene between Spider-Man and Doctor Octopus, the first fight scene. Oh, I also almost forgot. This is the This movie introduces frickin' Mr. Dickovich. Guys, he is the best character ever. Mr. Dickovich. You guys don't know who Mr. Dickovich is, so Peter actually moves out of Aunt May's house in this movie, and well, not in the movie. We just found out that he did move out of Aunt May's house, and Peter lives in a crappy New York apartment, and his next door, I guess you could say roommate, I guess, not roommate. No, sorry, why did I say roommate? Next door neighbor, I guess you could say, is Mr. Dickovich, and Mr. Dickovich also has a daughter called Ursula. Mr. Dickovich is one of the best freaking memes of all time. Like, he also, why he's a really good meme is because what Mr. Dickovich is actually there for is because he tries to ask Peter for rent because Mr. Dickovich is struggling with rent and all. So, but Peter, of course, he's struggling with money as well, so he can't really give much rent to him. And then I do like Mr. Dickovich, but he's really mean because he just stole Peter's like $20. I think it was $20. I don't think. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it was dollars. I don't know what they had over there, but yeah, I think it was dollars. So Mr. Dickovich stole Peter Parker's $20 for his birthday that Aunt May gave him, and it's like really mean. And then of course a more iconic meme comes in Spider-Man 3 about Mr. Dickovich, but we'll get to that when I'm reviewing Spider-Man 3. But yeah, so yeah, there was like a bit where Mr. Dickovich says, "Where's my money?" And like he shouts it really loud, and he's just an iconic meme, bro. I love Mr. Dickovich. Let's go. And actually, he wasn't even supposed to be a meme character. He wasn't even supposed to be just a random character just to make Peter struggle more. But he's actually a reference to someone. If you don't know who he's a reference to, he's a reference to Steve Ditko. I don't know if I said the name right there, but Steve Ditko helped write Spider-Man story back in the comics, and yeah. Of course with Stanley as well, rest in peace, and rest in peace Steve Ditko as well. I'm pretty sure Steve Ditko has to, right? I'm pretty sure he did, yeah. So rest in peace both of them, and yeah, they were great writers, so much love to them for writing Spider-Man, one of the greatest superheroes of all time. And yeah, but yeah, Mr. Dickovich was a legendary character, and he was good. He was probably the best character. Yeah, he's better than Spider-Man. That's how good he was. He was so good. And then Ursula, Mr. Dickovich's freaking daughter always give cheesecake to Peter, and he was like, yeah. Anyway, let's get to like another bit where Peter's losing his powers as Spider-Man because he doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore, so that causes him to lose his powers. I really like those scenes. The first time he loses his powers, he's just swinging them randomly in the air, and then he freaking lands on a vent. That's pretty sus, my guy. Okay, sorry about that Among Us reference there, but yeah, he loses his powers, and nearly like he probably broke a few bones in his back because he landed on a vent and it looked really sore, and it was like he had to carry his scooter back as well, and he couldn't web sling home. Like it was so good when he was like just losing his power for some reason. I also like the second time he lost his powers while slinging. He was coming back from the party that he found out that MJ was getting married to John Jameson, and he just stopped swinging for a second, and he was like, oh my god, no, not again, not again, and then he just fell to the ground. He was like, why is this happening to me? And then a weird thing I don't understand is, why did he go to the doctors? I don't know why he need to go to the doctors to find out why he's losing his powers as Spider-Man. I know he directly didn't say to the doctor, I'm Spider-Man, why am I losing my powers? He tried to make up an excuse, kind of, I guess you could say. But I think it's kind of still a dumb idea to go to the doctor. Like, how if the doctor has to know you're Spider-Man to help, like, if that makes sense. But yeah, so then comes to the there's not much Doctor Octopus fight scenes in this movie because Peter loses his powers. Oh yeah, let me just so Peter actually quits being Spider-Man and he puts his suit in the trash. One of the most iconic scenes of all time, where he puts his suit in the trash. That was taken from the comics as well. And yeah, so Spider-Man's no more. So Peter Parker actually just lives in a normal life, and he's not Spider-Man anymore. So he just goes around. Crime does happen. Like, there was a bit where Peter Parker just bought a hot dog, and he just saw crime happening, and yeah. And then another bit was kind of sad, is because Peter Parker stopped being Spider-Man, a fire happened. So Peter went in the fire because he was still heroic and all. He wasn't Spider-Man, but he still went in to save a little girl, and he did save the little girl, but he finds out that another kid died on top in the building as well, and he feels guilty. So he tries to become Spider-Man again, by he tries to jump off a building, and another iconic meme comes up here as well. He fails to jump off the building in web sling, and he lands on his back and really hurts his back, and then he goes like, my back, oh my back, and it's like really an iconic meme. And also I love the bit where Peter Parker tells Aunt May that it's kind of his fault that Uncle Ben died. But, then we later come to see that Aunt May actually is okay about what happened. She's over it, but she says, like, she says, I'm proud of you for being honest. And also she gives Peter some inspirational quotes. She says that the world needs Spider-Man and all. I'm pretty sure that Aunt May did know that Peter was Spider-Man. I kind of wish that there was more movies that came out. Because Aunt May, I just want to say that Aunt May probably just knew Peter was Spider-Man. And then she came up with another, like, you guys know, with great power comes great responsibility, that Uncle Ben said in the first movie in the comics and all. She kind of says like a line like that Aunt May does to Peter. She says, to do what's right, we have to be steady and give up the things we want the most. And that's like kind of inspiring as well. Just the same way that with great power comes great responsibility was. So then, yeah, Peter becomes, actually, first of all, Harry Osborn Dr. Octopus threatens Harry Osborn to give him some tritium because, Dr. Octopus wants to start the machine again and have the power of the sun in the palm of his hands. And, yeah, but first, Harry Osborn wants Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus wants, Harry Osborn wants Dr. Octopus to go and get Spider-Man for him, so Harry Osborn can kill Spider-Man and get his revenge on him. So yeah, that happens anyway, and then he throws another weird thing I didn't like is what's called MJ and Peter Parker went to the cafe or something to go talk and talk about what's happening and all, and MJ said that she she did kind of have a little bit of feelings still left for him. But why, if Dr. Octopus tries to get Peter, like, so Harry Osborn said to Dr. Octopus that to go to Peter Parker because Peter Parker takes pictures of Spider-Man so he'll know where he is. But Dr. Octopus doesn't want to kill Peter Parker because he just wants some information about him, but he throws a freaking car at him. Why does he throw a car at him? Like, for his information, like, Peter is a human. Of course, he's Spider-Man, and he would have survived the car probably hitting him, but Peter's a human to his knowledge, so why would he throw a freaking car at him? I don't get that. But yeah, anyway, of course, because Peter's spidey sense happens, Peter saves MJ from the car about to hit them, and then Doctor Octopus just asks where Spider-Man is and to find him and all, and then Peter says like I don't know where he is and all because he quit being Spider-Man. And then Doctor Octopus says, well, I'll peel the skin off her bones, MJ's bones, if you don't find them. And then yeah, he throws Peter to the wall and then kidnaps MJ again. Well, not again. This is the first time he's kidnapping MJ, but MJ gets kidnapped again for like this is the fourth time now. And yeah, so Doctor Octopus steals MJ, and then Peter busts out of the wall like an absolute boss. And because he's becoming Spider-Man again, he doesn't need his glasses anymore. So he drops his glasses and he's back being Spider-Man boy. And he steals the suit from J. Jonah Jameson because J. Jonah Jameson found the suit and he put it on his wall. And yeah, so Peter steals the suit back and then becomes Spider-Man again. And he goes to find and save MJ. And yeah, has another iconic fight with Dr. Octopus. But actually probably the most iconic fight scene in the movie, which is the train fight scene. Yes, the train frickin' fight scene. This is the best Spider-Man fight scene ever, lads. They just beat the living shit out of each other. Like, they beat each other up, like. And then, yeah, then another iconic scene is Dr. Octopus leaves the fight just to let Peter save the people on the train. And, yeah, we see that Peter tries to, like, stop the train. He jumps off the train at first and, like, tries to hold it with his hands to stop it. But it doesn't work. And then he tries to use webs to buildings to try to stop it with only 2 webs each, but it doesn't work. But then he webs again to walls with more webs this time, and it works with one of the most iconic Spider-Man scenes of all time, where Peter saves the civilians on the train. You guys are just gonna have to watch that glory scene for yourself if you haven't watched Spider-Man 2 already, because it is a great freaking scene where Peter just saves the civilians on the train. Like, that just shows how strong Spider-Man is. That's just show. He stops. I don't know how much trains weigh, but he stopped the train all by himself. Like, that is so strong. Like I know he has his spider strength and all, and that's how he stopped the train. But that, like, that could have ripped off his arms. Like, but he still had the strength to keep going. Like, and then of course he was about to fall off the train to fall to his death, but then the civilians of New York save him with another beautiful civilian moment. Like, I forgot to say in the first movie that the civilians actually saved Spider-Man from getting impaled by Green Goblin's glider. They show like items at Green Goblin to stop Green Goblin impaling Spider-Man. And that's what's kind of nice about this as well. The civilians love Spider-Man. Like, they need Spider-Man in New York to protect them. So yeah, they have a nice little moment with Peter, and they said they won't tell anyone his identity. Well, they don't even know his name yet, but yeah, no. And then Dr. Octopus kidnaps Spider-Man, and yeah, he brings him to Harry Osborn, but Harry Osborn unmasks Spider-Man, and he finds out he's Peter Parker. And then yeah, Harry Osborn, for some reason, another stupid scene is that Harry Osborn for some reason knows where Dr. Octopus is hanging out right now to build his machine. I don't know why Dr. Octopus would tell him where he's hanging out to build the machine, but yeah, he does for some reason. Then we come to the final fight scene of the movie with the machine. Dr. Octopus has the machine going, and it's about to destroy New York, but of course Spider-Man saves the day again, saves MJ again, and MJ finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and also one of the greatest sacrifices of all time, Dr. Octopus becomes good again, because Peter inspires him to become good again. He uses Aunt May's line, and yeah, so, by the way, just if you guys didn't know, Dr. Octopus was controlled by the arms, the robotic arms, just wanted to say that. And I don't know how they're going to do his story again in No Way Home, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, anyway, Dr. Octopus sacrifices himself to take down the machine he built because it was about to destroy New York, and he sacrifices himself. Dr. Octopus dies. MJ and Peter talk a bit, and then Peter says that I can't be with you because you'd be in danger and all. And then the most dick scene of the movie where MJ leaves John Jameson just out of nowhere, doesn't even give him any heads up that I'm leaving you, just goes straight to Peter. And then we have a final swing of the movie, which is so epic. And yeah, that's I'm giving this, okay, I forgot to rank kind of Spider-Man 1 as well. I'm giving Spider-Man 1 a 9 out of 10, and I'm giving Spider-Man 2 a 10 out of 10. This movie gets a 10 out of 10. It's maybe 11 out of 10, okay? 11 out of 10 it gets. This movie is absolutely one of the best superhero movies of all time, and I love it so much. It's great. So yeah, that was my review for Spider-Man 2. I will be probably reviewing Spider-Man 3 tomorrow actually, because I'm trying to get these reviews done quickly, because Spider-Man No Way Home is literally this week. I already have tickets for it. Not trying to flex or anything. I know it's really hard for people to get tickets and all, so yeah. So yeah, guys, that was my review for Spider-Man 2. Of course, like I said, 11 out of 10. And yeah, that's gonna be it. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new to the little bell so miss a video I upload. But you guys don't have to do that whatsoever. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.